G'day folks, it's Raven here, Peter Bushman. I'm out here today in the rain and just checking on the local stormwater. This is one outlet that carries on down and feeds the main creek here in the southwest of Sydney. I'm going to head on down. Bushman in a poncho. Testing out my poncho actually. I just got this lightweight poncho that I'm testing out. I'm going to head down to where those manholes are, where the sewer is, and check if there's any flooding on those. Stay with me. You can see on the track here in this sand trap that I usually come to, it's got quite a significant puddle. So we've had constant drizzly rain since last night. Like, it was 38 degrees yesterday and humid as hell here. I did a big hike, big 4.5 hour hike yesterday, and yes, my camera is waterproof, so that's why I can film in the rain. Awesome little camera. Anyway, yeah, I did a 4.5 hour hike yesterday, and after that hike it got really humid in the late afternoon. We had a bit of a storm. We even had a blackout actually. And it's been constantly drizzling, and we've had heavy downpours since then. So I just want to go and check on the creek and see how much is flowing. You know, it's a bit of an environmental problem here that I'm checking out, and I'm going to report to the EPA this week. Get them to come and do a. Well, it's a bit late now, but if I had got to them earlier, I could have got them to come down and do a stagnant water test and see how much nasties are in that water. But now it's been all washed away. I'm kind of a bit annoyed, but I'm also grateful for the rain, because at this time of the year, when we've had our summer and it's just coming into autumn, we get these rains and it starts to bring out the mushrooms, which is awesome. Hi Maggie, you're foraging. Hey? They're foraging, hey? Love necklace. Alright, so this is actually where we came the other day. This is just behind a residential area, and this is where we spotted our koala. She's probably soaking wet right now. Hopefully I won't be too wet. My upper body's fine. I mean, this does come to just below my knee, so the bottom of my pants is damp. I do have Gore-Tex waterproof boots on, and I know they're not 100% waterproof. I did have, last time I wore them out in the rain, which was quite a while ago, I did have wet arches, so they leak on the inside, like just down in here somewhere I was wet. And we've got a bit of runoff here that I'm just looking at. Sorry, moving the camera so much. I didn't think I was going to be filming here, but might as well film walking in the rain. It's awesome. It smells awesome out here. Now you can see here, check this out. You can see where a big dog's run through. They would have been earlier this morning. Probably come through with somebody walking. Sorry, I'll put better focus on that. So you can see how the rain has deteriorated these tracks throughout the day. So it's not the best shot. I'm on the wrong setting. I'm on a landscape setting, not a macro setting. So sorry if the lens has got it's got a little bit of water on it. It's not too bad. Turn around and see my ugly mug. Alright, so I might just cut here, and we'll catch up in a minute when I get to the sewer. Yeah, I'm on the wrong side of the creek to check. Alright, so I've got to get through this flooded creek, and I reckon I might be able to cross and get wet. Cross over and get wet at the same time. I'll have to put my camera lanyard around my wrist in case I drop it, even though it's waterproof. Still got to navigate along here. Don't really want to drop it, I'm not fishing for it. I can walk down. There is a log that crosses the creek, so if I can follow the bank down without falling in. It's pretty slippery here. I'm sure I'll get by. Probably safer on this side. Have to squeeze at it. Duck under a few branches. You can see she's pretty flooded. That's a big pile of foam right here. So you can see she's been gushing for a good long 8 hours or more. So here we've got one drain. Manhole. And here we can cross over really easy. There we go. You don't even have to shimmy across that log. Now, let's go over there. Oh! Alright. See, and this is what I was saying about this feeder creek. Let's get through here. Sorry about the camera moving around. This is that feeder creek, which is, this is the manhole outlet, and here's the feeder creek here. I'll just jump across. That way I can pan around and give you a better look. Oh, it stinks here. So, here's the manhole. Here's the feeder creek that comes down from the other manhole. Jesus, it stinks here. She's a bit backed up here. There's a bit of foreign matter in there, but that'll wash away in time. It doesn't seem to have overflowed much. It's not like I can just open the lid and have a look. Let me have a listen. Yeah, she's flowing pretty well. Just go up and have a look at this. Yeah, had a decent amount of rain. I can tell by the level of water in these feeder creeks, so I know the level of these creeks when we've got a really good downpour. And we've had a good downpour. I mean, it's pushing stuff out wide, and all the rocks in the centre here are clear. Now, I might just go up and maybe I'll go up and have a look at that other manhole, but this one seems to be okay. Oops, snagged up on the poncho. There we go. Actually, I'll go back and have another look at that river. Creek. So here you can see it feeding in, small feed, very small feed here on the right, and here's the main gusher coming out of here. You can tell by the sound how much water there is. Really great to have this influx of fresh water to flush this system, and it cleans this system, and now the animals down here can get clean water, even though it's still very, very tannin stained. There's like when this creek runs dry, you've got a lot of tannins that stain the mud, and the mud is black, so you'll see all that black mud mixing in until it clears itself up, it's going to be black for a while. It's very black here. It's not just because it's a dark, overcast, rainy day. This water is literally black like that log. Alright, I'll report back in a couple of minutes when I get up to the other manhole. How awesome is this bush in the rain? Man, I love this. Oh, that smell. Clear the nose, you smell more. Wow, this is great. Don't know if that'll focus because I'm on the wrong setting, but raindrops are everywhere. On everything. Everything's wet. This is better than the sprinkle we had the other day. The other day when it rained, I think it was about 3 days ago, it just soaked straight into the ground, and that was about it. You didn't really get much more than that. But this is so needed. This will really bring this bush back to life. Like, you can see how dry and brown it is here. This is what's it called? Kangaroo grass, and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, it'll really bring it back to life. I love coming out into the bush when it's wet because it's really quiet out here. All you can hear is the rain on your poncho. Cars in the distance, but it's really quiet when you're walking. You're not like, speaking of noisy fucking cars, like everything you tread on is really soft and doesn't make much noise, so you can actually be really stealthy in the wet. Anything that really makes noise is your poncho. Unless you've got like a peach fuzz lining on your jacket, you won't be heard. So I'm just coming up to the back of houses here. I just want to check on this stormwater that feeds out from suburbia. Now the other problem we have with all this runoff is that it brings a lot of weed seeds into this nature reserve. You can see here, look at the amount of these weeds. Can't see now anymore, but like, just zooming on that. That's a lot of influx of water just from that one drain, and it brings all these cobbler's pegs and all this Patterson's curse and fleabane and all sorts of weeds. Like this whole area just here is all suburban weeds, this whole area. So I'll move on down here to the sewer line. Sunday afternoon, outside walking in the pissing down rain. I mean, it's really coming down. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I'll focus on the dark area. You can see those raindrops. It's really, I'm pretty soaked, like from the arms. I mean, my arms are soaked. The rest of me is pretty dry. My beard's dry. That's the main thing. It's the reason for a poncho, really. Just keep that beard dry. Be walking like this and my beard is wet. You can see the the dip in the area here. Oop. Some rocks. Fall ass over tit on camera again. Alright, so this one looks alright. Doesn't seem to be any discharge, which is good. Very good. Doesn't seem to be a lot of runoff going into this drain either. It's really dry. I can't see any run. There's no water channeling at all, so it's really soaking into this area up through here, and it's holding onto us like a big sponge here. So we've got this sandstone path. We've got most of it's actually running, being diverted by this new path they made. It's being diverted down this way. I can see the water running down here, but you can really hear it over there. Like really hear it. I might go and have a look at that actually. If I can get in there. It's pretty, it's a bit how you're going. Fucking Niagara Falls in here. Check that out. I mean, you can hear it in here. It's really loud. Even with a poncho on, rain's dropping on my head. But you can see how much water comes down here. And this is just one drain. So you times that by, you know, the 30, 40, 50 other drains that come into this creek. By the time it gets to way down the other end, that's a shitload of water pushing through here. So that's good. My mission was to come out here and have a look at these drains. I might just get over here a bit more. Four slippy rocks and sticks. Oh, there's a big water vine. It's really coming down. It's awesome having a waterproof camera. Get a hoochie and set up a shelter in here and sit by the raging waters. Have a camp. Starting to get pretty wet now below the knee. So I'm gonna. Oh, there's a. Check this out. It's a native grape. Native grapevine. Awesome. That's a cool find. Looks like we've got a few in here. So, some mulberry. Native grapevine all up through there. I'm just out here and I'm just gonna walk down here and check the water flow into this creek. Hope I can get across there. Should be able to. And this is a major feeder creek to this area. My nose pretty wet. Face is pretty wet. Arms are pretty wet. From the leg down, I'm pretty saturated. My feet are dry. Right, so you can see the amount of run here. That's really good. That's washing this. There is a couple of pools. There's a pool, little rock pool just there and one next to it. And there's a couple up here that get really black and stinky when we haven't had rain for a while. And this has been concreted over here to help the service vehicles get through, because this gets really washed out. So you can see there, pretty significant run in. You know, probably 1,000 litres a minute, probably more. I think I'm going to try some of the skinny section in. So I can step across and not jump onto slippy rocks. Because that's just stupid. I like to avoid stupid. Prevention is better than a cure. You see a lot of leaves and shit coming down through where I just crossed. Alright, so this is the main body of the creek where it goes under it. You can see that little big drain here. Got these poles that actually catch a lot of floating debris, and it holds it there to stop that drain being clogged up. And just beyond those poles, just where my finger is, just in here, there's a small pool. It's usually a pool in the dry weather, and that gets really stagnant, and that's what the wallabies and stuff have to drink out of. So it's nice to see that getting a big flush out. Might go up the other side and have a look, see what that looks like. It's pretty wet. It's like I've been out here half an hour and the rain has not let up. It's just constant. It's nice though. So here I'm just walking down the other side of this, what I call the land bridge, which is a purpose-built drain by Sydney Water, to funnel this appropriately. Oh yeah, that's got a, whoa, wow, look at that. Now that, I can usually walk over to there, yeah, about there, and then there's a pool. So this is all like usually just dry bits of sand, all these rocks. You can see how black that water is. I'll just zoom in. Earlier in the video I was talking about how black the water is in under that canopy, and I was not exaggerating about the darkness between the water and the log. Like that's like topsoil dark, if you want a colour estimate. The closest colour I can think of to that browny black is topsoil. Alright, so I'm gonna finish recording here and head home and dry off. Alright, thanks for sticking around, watching my rainy adventures. Cheers.